Hi, it's Paul here from selfhelpforlife.com, and in this video I'm going to talk about how to change the 4 core beliefs that keep you stuck. So firstly I'm going to identify what those 4 core beliefs are. So the first one is, I am not good enough. I am not good enough. And similar variations to this one are, I am not worthy enough, or I don't deserve this. So when you have this core belief, which tends to be unconscious, what you often find is that you will sabotage yourself when you're trying to achieve the things you want in life. Or you find that you don't take action, you don't take the steps to start working on your goals and dreams because you just don't feel you're worthy of it, don't feel you're good enough. It also translates into money as well, because you might go for jobs that have a lower amount of salary than because you feel you're not worthy of anything more, or it might affect when you're negotiating salaries or promotions, those sort of things. So that's often one that if you've got an issue with kind of money, it will often come down to this kind of feeling of I'm not good enough or not worthy enough. If you're self-employed and maybe you're uncomfortable charging a certain amount for your services, but you look at the competition and you can see that they're charging a similar amount, then maybe that belief has come into play. Okay, so the second core belief is, the world is not a safe place for me. Okay, so this can manifest itself in a number of ways. Sometimes it's fears or phobias that can arise from this. Sometimes it's a reluctance to go out and try new things, so to get out of your comfort zone. But if you have that belief that the world is not safe, then that's going to affect the things that you do in your life. Okay. The third one is, I am powerless. Now this can be powerless to change, feeling that you have no power over your life circumstances. It could include feeling there's no power over what happens to me. And this is quite a common one for personal development people, really, because you go to seminars, you read books, you watch videos, and then you seem to have a bit of an issue with applying the steps or applying the steps consistently. So if you have this belief that, well, I can't change anyway, then you're not likely to take the steps that will work if you do them to make the changes you want. So that's a really, really big one. And also it kind of tends to mean that you're not responsible for yourself. You tend to blame other people or other situations for the way your life is at the moment. The fourth one is, love and relationships equal pain. Okay, so if you have that unconscious core belief, then you might end up attracting abusive partners or people that just not going to make you happy. Or the other situation is you might end up just being lonely because you don't go out and meet people because you just believe that relationships are going to equal pain. Okay, so they're those 4 core beliefs. And what I want to talk about now is that if you don't address those 4 core beliefs, then whatever affirmations or visualizations or other activities you're doing, positive thinking, all that kind of stuff, it's just not going to work, or it's only going to work temporarily. So if you've had the situation in your life where you've made some progress and then you've kind of gone back to where you were before, and maybe you've done this a number of times, then there's a good chance that there's core beliefs that are stopping you in your tracks. Okay? So with the example of some kind of positive affirmation or idea, you look at it, it's logical, it makes sense, it's what you want, it's going to make you happy, it's going to make you feel fulfilled. The problem is that a part of your mind, the part of these core beliefs, thinks that it isn't positive. Maybe it's some kind of fear or threat-based emotion, then that will be challenging your positive idea. Maybe it thinks it's scary, or there's some kind of fear or threat or something that might go wrong. And that part of your mind is just trying to protect you, really. Okay? So, what will tend to happen when you say an affirmation or you think of an idea and it conflicts with one of your core beliefs is you either get an internal voice that says, no, you can't do that. No, it's not going to work for you. I'm sure you're familiar with that kind of thought process, that sort of internal dialogue. Or you might get some kind of uncomfortable feeling, okay? So in the stomach or some kind of area. So the first thing I recommend you do is when that comes up is question that resistance. So it is some kind of resistance. And you can ask yourself questions such as, what am I thinking right now? Or what am I feeling right now? Or what must I be believing to have this feeling? And what these questions do is they'll take you to your next layer of your beliefs. And the more you question those beliefs, eventually, quite soon, you'll get to those core beliefs that I was talking about earlier. And it's a bit like peeling an onion. The more you peel it, the closer you get to the core. Okay? So those are 3 really useful questions. I'll have a link to the blog article below, so if you want to reference those questions, you can do that. So now I'm going to cover 3 methods or techniques that's going to help you change those core beliefs and work with affirmations, visualizations and positive ideas more effectively. So the first one is to use something called a suspend belief statement. And what this really does is just allow your mind to just put your current reality and just park it for a little while, which then allows those new ideas to sink in without conflict or with less conflict. Okay? So, here's an example of a suspend belief statement. For the next few minutes, I will momentarily suspend what I believe in this area and willfully accept the belief that I want. During this time, my desire and belief will be one. There will be no conflict because I do this willingly. For this time, I will completely alter my old beliefs. I will act as if the belief I want were mine completely. Okay, so I'll put a link to that statement in the blog article, and so click below and you'll see a link to that. And that statement actually came from a book, or this is a modified version of the statement that came from The Nature of Personal Reality by Jane Roberts. That's a really good book to read as well, and I'll put a link to that in the description as well. And what I found was that this statement makes all the difference between affirmations that work and affirmations that don't. And if you think about it, basically what you're doing is everything that you think is real, you're just putting that aside just for a few moments. You're suspending what you believe just for a few moments. And then I'm willfully going to accept the belief that I want as if it's completely mine right now. And there's no conflict with what I normally think because I'm going to pretend that all those thoughts don't exist just for now. Okay? An important factor here is that you have to consciously, deliberately and willingly suspend your normal reality for a moment and then willfully accept some new ideas as if they're already true now, not at some point in the future, right now. So I hope you get a sense of what that is. It's really just having some way of just letting your normal reality just park for a little while whilst letting those new ideas come in. Okay, so the second step is to incorporate affirmations that address some or all of those 4 core beliefs. So to give you some positive examples, the first one would be, I am good enough, or I am worthy enough, or I do deserve this. The second one would be, the world is a safe place for me. Third one, I am powerful and can influence my world. Now when I'm talking about powerful here, I'm talking about powerful over yourself and how you can change things, not power over other people. And the fourth one is, love and relationships equal pleasure. So what I recommend you do is start saying those to yourself. Now, when you say those, if you start to notice some kind of inner resistance, again, self-talk saying, no, that's not true, or any kind of internal uncomfortable feeling that feels resistant, then what I recommend you do is you modify those statements by starting with, I want to, and then I can be, and then going back to I am. Okay, so just to give you an example of that, so using those 4 positive statements but using I want to. So the first one would be, I want to be good enough, or I want to be worthy enough, or I want to be able to deserve this. Okay? Second would be, I want the world to be a safe place for me. The third one would be, I want to be powerful and be able to influence my world. And the fourth one would be, I want love and relationships to equal pleasure. Now what will happen is when you say them with I want to, you'll notice that your mind will be able to accept them. Because in a way, you're saying to your mind, I haven't got this right now, this is what I want. The good thing about this is your unconscious mind will still pick up on the good enough, world is a safe place, powerful can influence my world, which is the important thing. So your unconscious will pick up on that. Now once you feel comfortable and you feel you're getting no or little resistance with the I want to statements, you can then move on to the I can be statements. So the examples would be, I can be good enough or worthy enough or deserve this. The world can be a safe place for me. I can be powerful and can influence my world. And love and relationships can be pleasurable. Okay, so you work your way through that until that begins to feel comfortable for you, and then you can go to the I am statements that I was talking about earlier. So I hope those make sense. You can use those with your other affirmations as well. It's a really, really good way to deal with any kind of affirmational statement where you want to increase your belief in it a little bit more before you go to the traditional I am statements, which most people would tend to tell you about. Okay, so my third point now is really around the use of emotion. Okay, so typically often what you want is that real excitement or motivation to get yourself to take action right now. But when you're really thinking about something you want in the future, think about, maybe a way of thinking about this is, think about things that you've achieved in the past. Okay, when you had that process of wanting to achieve it, it was exciting, but when you get there, it's kind of exciting for a while and then it becomes kind of nice, feels good, but it's kind of normal in a way, kind of just getting that normal kind of feeling. So what I'm really saying here is you want to get a sense that that thing that you want in your life is kind of normal. You've got it already and it feels good, but it feels kind of normal. Okay, rather than super exciting, if that kind of makes sense. So the way to think about this is you want to have like a solid yes feeling. I have it, and it feels good to have it. And I suppose another way of thinking about this is Christmas. Okay, so think about how exciting the lead up to Christmas is, but often you find that when it actually gets to Christmas Day itself, it's actually not quite as exciting as you thought it was going to be. It's still good, it's still a fun day and everything. Same kind of thing with holidays. So, you get that excitement in holidays, last few days at work, and then the holidays, a lot of fun, it's great experiences, it's great to relax, but often that excitement, after a few days, the holiday feels a bit more like kind of normal, really. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm trying to say here. So, and the way that's going to help you is when you're taking action towards achieving that goal, rather than having that emotional excitement, you'll turn that more into physical action energy. So you're putting that energy into actually achieving the goal and focusing on it, and that will make you more likely to achieve the desired outcome. So I hope that makes sense. A few other points. Repetition is really important. So with any kind of affirmation, you need to be saying this every day for like 30 to 40 days. So make it part of your kind of morning ritual or morning routine to do that. Second important point is focusing on one idea. So when you focus on that one idea, that one statement for 15 to 20 seconds, that's actually a long time to focus on one idea. Typically it's 3 or 4 seconds and then our brain is straight onto something else. So when it's 15 to 20 seconds, your brain actually starts to latch onto that and think, hey, this is important, compared to all those other thoughts going on. And then over time you can get that up to like a minute or two, and that's really, really good when you can do that. And that will start to take more meaning then in your brain, and your unconscious will take that more seriously as well. Okay, the third thing is, if you can say your affirmations out loud, that can really help for a few ways. Firstly, your mind is hearing you saying it, so that helps. It also helps with concentration. It's much more easy to concentrate on something you're saying out loud. So that's really important as well. And then you remember that emotive thing I was talking about earlier, getting that sense of satisfaction, having that energy behind it, but that sort of pleased, feel good about it feeling, that satisfied and grateful feeling. But that kind of feeling you have when you've achieved it, and it's kind of, well, I've got that now. And that's really good. So yeah. And the final point in closing, remember that we're saying affirmations to ourselves every day anyway, hundreds of times a day. They're usually negative, so with positive affirmations you're helping to replace those. And also the affirmation that's repeated the most often is the one that's going to be the most effective. So if you're repeating these ideas to you regularly, but you're also saying things to yourself like I'm not good enough or I'm stupid regularly, and importantly, if that second idea, that negative idea, has more emotive force than the first idea, then that's going to win over time. So that's really important too. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. If you do, please like the video, leave a comment, and do subscribe for future updates if you haven't already. And when you do subscribe, click the bell icon, and that way YouTube will notify you when future videos are released. And if you enjoyed this video, there's a few links in the description. So firstly, there's a link to the blog post, so do take a moment to read that and memorise those ideas, particularly that belief suspend statement that I was talking about earlier. There's also a link to that book, The Nature of Personal Reality. And there's also another link to my ebook, 10 Strategies for Your Success. This is a great read. It's relatively short and has the 10 things that I've used in my life that have really helped me change and transform my life. It's relatively short, very practical, so I encourage you to click the link below and download that ebook. Till next time, I hope you enjoyed this video and I look forward to talking with you again soon. Bye for now.